If you've ever played the game Trombone Champ, you might be wondering, how could this ever be a board game? It's one of my favorite games to play on stream. So when I heard they were doing a board game version of it, I had to check it out. Welcome back, everyone. Today we're here to talk about the board game version of Trombone Champ. How does it compare to the video game? Who is it for? Is it fun? Should you buy it? All of that good stuff. And also, how do you even adapt something like this? Essentially, this is a take that sort of style game from my experience playing it. I played it with some friends on a recent board game stream, and I have to tell you, I had a lot of fun with this one. I think this game is really good for folks who are maybe new to board games. So if you have anyone in your family or in your friend group who is a little bit more interested in something that is rules light, I think this is that. Now, granted, there are a few pages of rules. There's basically a little pamphlet, and you do have to learn a few things. This is the rule book here. I love the art on the back. So it's not a very big rule book, and a lot of it is illustrations, and also thanks to all the people on Kickstarter who supported this game. So that's a few of the pages. So it's pretty short, and there's also sample gameplay in here, so pretty easy to get started. The idea of the game is that you are going to choose a deck to represent you. So there's lots of different characters in here, like Horn Lord, that you could be. And once you have your character, this is your deck. You're going to draw 3 cards from your tromboner deck. And once you have those 3 cards, you're going to check them out. A lot of them tend to be notes, but some of them can also manipulate other things on the board, like the baboon card. There is going to be a song out that we are trying to play, and you will get bonus points if you happen to play all of these kinds of toots. So there's different notes that are in your tromboner deck, and ideally you would want to play whatever the set collection requirement is on the card. If you play all of those during that song, then you win. Now, the cool thing with this game is that it's not just each one of us has our own song and we're working on it independently. Oh, no. We are all playing songs at the same time. So while you're playing a song, I can go in and start playing notes on that song and also try to complete it. And at any time, we can end the song. If somebody is to play a finito card on their turn onto a song, that will end that song and we will score it up based on a few different things. So one of the things is you can throw hot dogs on songs. And if you are to throw hot dogs, it negates points. Normally, you get a point for each note that you played on a song, and then you would get bonus points if you play all of the notes needed for that song. So in the case of Entry of the Gladiators, you would get a 6-2 bonus. That's a lot of toots, baby. So you get that, and then anything that has a hot dog on it is essentially negated, so you don't get points for that. Now, I believe you can still get the combo bonus, you just wouldn't get the point for that specific card. So what you want to do if someone throws hot dogs on something is you ideally want to clear them off with a baboon. The baboon eats the hot dogs. Hot dogs and baboons are things in the video game, so I love that they've incorporated this into the board game. And when you do get a baboon that moves onto the song, you have a little baboon marker that you can place on whatever song you want in order to clear any hot dogs that are there. Now, I know what you might be saying, but Amanda, you said there's one song. Well, once you complete that one song, you are going to add an additional one. And the max number that you can have going is the max number of players plus 1. So in the case of our game, we were playing a 3-player game, so the max number of songs we would able to have at any one time that we could be working on was 3, the number of players, plus 1, so that's 4. You can play this game with up to 4 people, and I would say that I think 3 to 4 is probably the sweet spot for this game, because a lot of the fun of the game is messing with people's stuff. You can also swap notes, so while someone's trying to go for a combo and get all the notes of a certain type, you could actually move the notes that they played around, and because of that, they will no longer be getting that toot bonus. So you can really mess with people, but the other thing is if you throw hot dogs on a song, if you're on it and someone else is on it, you might hurt yourself as well as them. So it's really a game about chaotic good fun playing these songs and messing with your friends. And that is the joy of it. I would say that this game is best for early gamers, people that are maybe just getting into tabletop games, people that like card games. This is what I would classify as a card games. There's a lot of cards, a lot of play the cards. A lot of it's pretty self-explanatory too. Like even if you didn't read the rules, I think if you read the cards, it would make a lot of sense, because if you're ever wondering what a card does, it actually tells you right on the card. So for example, we have the Magic Baboon, and it says on the card, the Magic Baboon transforms this card into any note you desire. So this can be any note that you want, which is great if you're trying to complete one of the combos and you need something specific, but you don't have it in your hand. As it works, on your turn, you're going to play a card and then you're going to draw back up, and that's pretty much it. So it's really easy to jump into. I do think that if you have friends that don't love when people are messing with their strategy, this might not be a game for them, because it is very much a game where you have to get used to pivoting your strategy because people are going to be messing with you all the time. Granted, if you ever want to ensure and lock in your points, you can always play that finito card to end a song at any time. So you don't actually have to achieve the combo that's on the bottom of the card. You can just play finito whenever, which also means you could use that to mess someone up, or you could use that to help yourself. So there's a few different ways you can also play. I think the most fun way to play this game is to mess with other people, but you could just play and try to focus on your own stuff and not really mess with anyone else. Granted, like I said, I think the fun is, throwing hot dogs at everyone. Who doesn't want to do that? So overall, I think this is a really fun game. I think it's great for family game night, or just someone that might be new to tabletop gaming. For fans of Trombone Champ, as someone that is a fan of the game, I would say definitely this is a good time. And you can also play it with a smaller player count. So if you are a group of 2, you can play it with a group of 2. I just think because a lot of the fun is the chaos of this game and how much you can interact with other players, it is a lot more fun to be playing with 3 to 4 people, because then you get max interaction. Now, granted, that being said, I think it still works with 2. I just think if you want the best experience, that's the player count that I personally would recommend for this type of game. And the cool thing about this game is they actually give you 2 options for where it can end. It can end when you get to 20 toots points, or it can end when you get to 15 toots points if you want a shorter game. And you could adjust that as well if you wanted. You could even make it longer, or you could potentially make it shorter if you're having a great time or if you want something really quick. I think this is a really good sort of icebreaker game for the beginning of the night if you're playing a gaming night and you're wondering where should you play this, or if by the end of the night, if you've been playing something heavier and your brain's a little foggy, this is a good game to throw on the table. It kind of gives a little bit of an Exploding Kittens vibe, which I really like Exploding Kittens because I think it's just good old-fashioned fun. It's really about messing with other players, and there's a lot of tension in that game. And in this game, there is some tension as well. However, if you are playing with 4 people, you will have to wait for 3 people to go for you to go. So in all that time, you're just hoping someone doesn't mess with your stuff. But sometimes I did find it was a little like, whose turn is it, when we were figuring it out. But once you're going, the turns go pretty quickly. That's pretty much my thoughts on Trombone Champ. I really enjoyed this, and I want to say thank you so much to Jason Anarchy Games for giving me a copy of this so that I could review it and I could check it out. They also have some other games that are based on comics too, so if you have not checked out Jason Anarchy Games, I would recommend checking out what they got, because they got some cool creative games, and a lot of them seem to be based with cards as well, which I think is awesome. I love a good card game. That's all I have for this one. Thank you so much for taking the time to check out my video on Trombone Champ, the board game. I hope it was helpful in giving you an idea of kind of what the overview of how to play looks like. I hope it was helpful to you in giving you a sense for what the game feels like, how it represents the goofiness that is the video game, and how it brings it to life in tabletop form, and who it is best for. I'll see you guys in the next one, and until next time, as always, stay nerdy. Bye! And if you love when I talk about board games, you need to check this one out. A golden oldie.